3, 2, 1. Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very, very, very special guest. Isaac Ayon joins Dodgers Daily. And so, hey, Isaac, thank you so much for joining. Very excited. I've never got a chance to talk to you. I got a chance to watch you quite a bit at Oregon, but and obviously last summer. But super cool to get to meet you for the first time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to you.
So did I say that last name? I've heard it said Ayon. I've heard it said Ayon. Which way does it pronounce?
Yeah.
Properly?
So I mean, most people pronounce it Ayon, but a lot of my Spanish teammates pronounce it Ayon.
Oh.
So it's either way. I always go by Ayon, but any way anyone says it.
Okay. I got to say, yeah, you're from Fresno, the Central Valley, and anytime I hear that curse, the first thing I think of is Christian Funk, who grew up in, you may not have heard of him, but he went to Oklahoma State. He actually went to Fresno City College there and played with Alec Gamboa, and then Alec got drafted, and then Christian came to Oklahoma State and helped OSU be very good. But I say that to say, Alec Gamboa. Alec Gamboa was an all-sport wrestler. He was one of the best football players in the state, obviously great baseball player. He was drafted by the Dodgers. He idolized Fernando Valenzuela. So first of all, the Central Valley, the thing that he said was when you're from the Central Valley, it's a great place to be home. You're very proud of it. So talk about that, and then also maybe knowing Alec growing up.
Yeah, so I mean, like Alex said, being from the Central Valley is definitely special. I mean, everyone here in the Valley goes for one thing, so everyone kind of supports each other, especially in all sports. I mean, like I said, when I was a kid, I heard of Alec playing when I was growing up, and I was like, oh, he went to the Dodgers, I want to be just like him. You kind of want to, you see someone live out their dreams, and you've been a Dodger fan yourself. I'm kind of like, I would love to be in that position. So, hearing about him growing up, it was kind of awesome getting to hear that he did that. And now that I'm in kind of the position he was in, it's kind of surreal, honestly. And I know my whole family and a lot of people from the Valley are supportive of me as well.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch that, you heard Isaac just say that he grew up a Dodgers fan, just like Alec did. So it had to be really cool. You had the Tommy John there at Oregon, did not even get to pitch your last 2 years. And it's crazy that you got drafted in both of those years. The first year after not getting to pitch the first year, then the second year, you had gone 2 years and not even pitched, and you got drafted again. And then you upped you were the 20th round the first time, declined that, came back, and so you went to the Dodgers, which is your hometown team, and then you went from the 20th to the 18th round. Take us through that. That had to be an awesome process.
I came out of my sophomore year healthy. I was coming in my junior year, ready to pitch and get ready for my draft year. In the fall, I was preparing, went in the game, and then I felt something in my arm, and the next day I couldn't move my arm. So I talked with my trainer and was like, hey, something's going on. Got it checked out. We decided that I could either get Tommy John or the brace, and I decided to do the internal brace just because it was a quicker rehab to try to get back to pitch that year so I could try to get my draft stock up. Got the brace. It didn't end up working out that well. Had some setbacks. Didn't get back that season. Like you mentioned, I had gotten picked up by the Nationals. I decided to go back to Oregon because I wanted to actually play my last year at Oregon. Went into my senior year, rehabbed. I was feeling pretty strong in the fall. I threw again, and I blew out the ligament again, and I had to just get the full Tommy John. Missed my full senior year. Kind of was up in the air with the draft, not sure what was going to happen after 2 years of not pitching. But by God's will, the Dodgers took a chance on me, and now I'm getting going in their organization.
Yeah, the Tommy John organization. There are so many of these.
Seriously.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So that had to be cool, too. So you talk about setbacks. I mean, your draft-eligible year, well, you may have been draft-eligible as a sophomore. I haven't researched your age there, but definitely draft-eligible year as a junior. Tommy John, you don't get to pitch. Draft-eligible as a senior. Internal brace the first time. Draft eligible as a senior, Tommy John, you don't get to pitch. So let's back up to high school. Your senior year was your COVID year, so you don't even get to pitch that year to show all the college recruiters and or scouts what you can do there. So one setback after the other in years that could have been big for you. So how did you handle that?
Yeah, so in high school, obviously, I got to play maybe 3 games before COVID shut us down. But I kind of just took the rest of that year to get things right. I wanted to get my body in as good shape as I could. I wanted to get my arm in as good a shape as I possibly could as I was heading in and transitioning into the D1 level. but those 3 games were pretty awesome. I mean, I got to play one of probably the best game we got to play when I was in high school, and that was against Turlock when they had 3 dudes that were pretty well known in the draft. Tyler Soderstrom, who now is a big leaguer with the A's. Cole Carrick, who's a top prospect. And at the time, there was a kid named Andrew Owen, who was also a pitcher for them. So that was like, I got to go head-to-head with them, and that was a really fun game. And then that's how the season ended right after that. COVID hit.
Yeah, man, and overcame all 3 of those to get exactly where you wanted to be with it, which is with the Dodgers right now. So you chose Oregon. Really cool for me. I think anybody who watches this channel knows I'm a huge Oklahoma State fan. Oklahoma State just plucked your pitching coach, Blake Hawksworth, who you threw for there at Oregon. So can you talk about Coach Hawksworth, him first of all, and why you chose to be a Duck?
Yeah, so I would say Blake is a very smart man. Like, everything pitch-wise, analytics, mechanics, he knows it all. He himself also played with the Dodgers, so he has a lot of the knowledge that they have passed on to me. I had already gotten when I was at Oregon with him. And not only is he just a great coach, he's also a great person. Like, you can have a good conversation with him. You can get to know him on a personal level. And he just kind of elevates the coach-player relationship that you kind of want in your pitching coach, because you know he's always going to be there for you, and you know he's going to help you develop. So, yeah, Blake's a good guy, and whoever was lucky to get him out of Oregon, definitely at Oklahoma, they're definitely lucky over there to have him. But when I was choosing Oregon, you know, I took an official visit up to the campus, and if you know and you've been to Oregon, everything is green and beautiful up there. There's nothing dead. And from the valley, I mean, we go through seasons, so there's sometimes dead stuff, sometimes green. And I'm a big fan of the green, and I like the mountains and stuff. So you go up there, and it's just beautiful. I remember walking on campus, and I was like, this doesn't even feel real. Like, this is the place for me. Like, you know, instantly right when I walked on campus, met Wazakowski, the head coach there. I knew it was going to be a perfect fit for me. So I told them I basically committed on the spot after the visit. And, you know, since then it's been history.
Yeah. And everything is new and shiny at Oregon, too, including, I'm sure you had all the pitching labs. Coach Hawksworth is very analytical. So I'm sure that was you probably had a leg up on a lot of guys in the terms that you had the Hawkeye systems, you had the TrackMan. You knew, not only did you have it, but you knew how to make it work for you, all that kind of stuff at Oregon. So can you take us through that part of it?
Yeah, so at Oregon, obviously, we have some very, very nice facilities. We have access to pretty much anything you can name that's out right now. We use the TrackMan a ton. That thing's pretty awesome. It's a little bit different than the Rapsodo just because it kind of tracks the ball as it comes in instead of like predicting where the ball is going to be. So that's always fun to throw on. We have like over there by our weight room near where we call the cast, which is like where all the athletes go and eat and stuff. We have like what do you even call it, like a sports science building. And basically they could like connect some stuff to you and see how your body moves with like these motion cameras. So it's like they have the most high-tech stuff, like stuff that I myself don't even understand what it's actually doing, but you know, they're always there to help you and answer any questions. So they have all the top-notch facilities to help you achieve what you want.
Yeah. So you got off to a really quick start with Oregon. You 2021, I believe you led the team in appearances that year. I could be corrected there. I think that's correct, though. And then you had you had a bunch of different really nice outings. The two that stick out to me because of being in Oklahoma State, the Bedlam rivalry, that's huge. You had two really nice outings against Oregon State. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, obviously being an Oregon Duck, it's kind of preached, kind of like how the Giants Dodgers, there's a huge rivalry. It's the, you know, Oregon and Oregon State. It's kind of preached like we don't like them, they don't like us. So, you know, there's always like a little bit extra tension as you're going into those games, and they're packed out stadiums. They're always sold out games. So when you're on that mound, you know, you just have that little bit of extra adrenaline and that little bit more of like compete factors. So every time I stepped on that mound against Oregon State, it was like, I can't let these guys beat me.
Yeah. So was Elijah Hainline at Oregon State whenever you were with Oregon? Do you remember?
He was there the years I was hurt. So I don't believe I got to pitch against him, but I remember watching him play for sure.
So nothing he's doing is surprising you, I'm sure. You got to see it up close and personal.
Yeah, he's legit. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you're a 2A player in high school, big old 6'4" dude. First of all, what position do you play? I need to know the offensive profile here, Isaac. What type of offensive player were you?
I mean, I was the third baseman, sometimes first base, and then obviously my primary position was pitching. I wouldn't say I was a great hitter by any means, but I always had a lot of power.
Yeah.
I could hit in BP, and you would think I was going to be a first rounder in BP, and then I hit the game, and I could never hit. So,
damn curveballs.
I just stick to pitching. Yeah, curveballs are no fun.
Absolutely. So the farthest home run you ever hit, do you remember it?
Ooh, maybe in a game or just like tracked?
Either one. Let's give both. Let's do both. Let's have some fun.
I think in BP I got one like 430.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I just have power. Like I can't hit though. BP is my thing. So I love taking BP. Anytime I'll ever get a chance to take BP, I'll be all over it.
Okay, I got to ask you then, have you gotten to take BP as a professional?
I haven't yet.
Oh, I'll bet you're bugging them all the time. Shoemaker won't let you take BP?
I wish. I would do anything.
Oh, man. Well, the problem is, of course, throwing the curveball is a lot easier than hitting them. And if you show your power in a BP session, they might want you to hit again, Isaac.
Oh, no shot I'd be able to hit at the professional level. But I think every pitcher has the little bit of, they want to hit in them.
Okay. And another reason why I bring that up too, I always like to bring that up with all the pitchers were 2A players in high school, almost all of them. Mm-hmm. So you mentioning how, hey, yeah, I could hit the ball a million miles, but I couldn't hit the curve, how hard hitting is. So are there times as a pitcher where that's an advantage to you where you go, I need to remember how hard it was to hit, so let's not try to be too perfect. Let's just make hitting hard for the hitter right now. Do you go through those moments?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the time pitchers get caught up in they give a hitters way too much credit. Yeah, there's very good hitters, but I mean, you really think about it, a good hitter gets a hit 3 out of 10 times. So that means 7 out of the times they're not getting a hit or they're striking out. So I think once you get to the point in your head where, you don't give hitters as much credit as they really need, it frees you up to attack the hitters and not need to be so perfect. Because I feel like when pitchers get perfect, they tend to do too much, either leave pitches up or, try to do too much with pitches and they throw them in the dirt or up. It's and it doesn't need to be so complicated. Just attack the hitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Grew up a Dodgers fan there in Fresno. Did you have a favorite Dodger?
It's always been Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just think he's a good role model as well. I mean, he plays for one of the most popular teams in the world, and you've never heard his name in anything crazy, and he's always been a great leader for the Dodgers, and just kind of like that about him. Christian man, good father, just a great dude. Yeah.
So have you got a chance to meet him or pitch alongside him or anything?
I got to he was throwing a rehab game in the ACL, and I got to actually watch him warm up in the bullpen, and that was honestly a surreal feeling. The dude I grew up watching as a kid and always looking up to was literally maybe 2 feet, 3 feet in front of me, warming up, getting ready to go in a game. And let me tell you, he went in that game, and I think he pitched 5 or 6 innings with 10 Ks. Yeah. And I was like, man.
Did you get to see the Uncle Charlie for yourself, the curveball?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his unhittable pitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The slider's been good, but I always enjoy watching that curveball from Clayton Kershaw. Okay, so as a diehard Dodgers fan and in the Dodgers organization, you had a double whammy of awesomeness when the Dodgers won the World Series. So when you saw that broken bat double play ball to Mookie, did your heart skip a beat? Tell us how you were thinking.
Honestly, when I saw that ground ball, I know Mookie can always make the play. Yeah. So, I was pretty happy with that outcome, and I knew he was going to turn 2. So there's never no doubt with the Dodgers. Somehow they always figure out a way to come out on top.
No doubt about it. So being a Dodgers fan, you hear, this is the second time through the draft for the draft situation. So you kind of knew what to expect, probably a little bit more the second time than you did the first time. So let's not go through that part of it. Let's go through you see that it's the Dodgers, and you're like, you got to be freaking kidding me. I just got drafted by the Dodgers. Take us through that.
Yeah, so it was day 3 of the draft, and like I told you, we were unsure of the draft. We weren't too sure if a team was going to take a chance on me. So it was kind of just just kind of wait around. And if a team gives you a call on draft day, keep your phone near you. And and gets to like round 17-ish. And, I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, looks like I'm going back to Oregon for my 5th year. Just sitting on the couch. I have family at the house, but, they're kind of doing their own thing because I tell them, you guys can go do your thing. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, if anything happens, I'll let you guys know. Sitting on my phone on the draft tracker, and the 18th round comes around, and I'm just watching it. I see all the picks come in, and the Dodgers are up. And I'm like, ooh, who are the Dodgers taking? Because, that's my favorite team. I always looked at who the Dodgers were picking. And all of a sudden, I see the Dodgers are up. My name pops up on right next to the LA, and I'm like, hold up. Like, I have to look this close, and I see my name, and it says Oregon, and I am like jumping. I'm like yelling for my family. I'm like, guys, I just got picked up by the Dodgers. I had no clue it was coming. Yeah. No heads up.
Wow.
It was just kind of super awesome. It was a very, very good moment. Probably one of my best memories for sure.
Yeah, it's like, what round? I have no idea. I don't know anything about anything other than the fact that I got drafted by the Dodgers, right? That kind of excitement.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then you got back on the saddle this year and really did a really nice job. So before we talk about getting back on the mound as a professional, we'll get into that. Let's talk about your stuff. Upper 90s fastball. Now, I've been waiting to get this confirmed. It's got a right turn to it. So is it a sinker or is it just a four-seam with sinker tendencies?
So honestly, I throw a sinker and I throw a four-seam. I would say my sinker, I work off my fastball, my four-seam. So I would say it does have a little bit of, little run to it. It just kind of depends how I throw it. Some days I'll get rides, some days I'll get runs, some days I've even gotten cut.
So the tight slider, is that a cutter or is that actually a slider and the changeup? Take us through the rest of your stuff and your sequencing.
Yeah, so I throw a four-seam, sinker, a slider. It's more of like I throw it two different ways. I can make it more sweeper-ish, it's a little bit bigger, and I can make it more of like a bullet slider, a little bit firmer and a little bit shorter. But it's just two different like keys I have when I throw it. It's not too much of a different grip. And then my changeup, I throw like off a two-seam grip, a circle change, and yeah, it's more depthy, so I throw that, and that one's a little bit more firm. But I definitely got more comfortable with it towards the end of this year, for sure.
Yeah. So is that change more of just a kind of a pull the string off of your big fastball, or is it more of a tumble and a fade, trying to get swing and miss being a part of your arsenal that way?
Honestly, I would love it to be more of a swing and miss pitch, but I feel like this year it was more of like just to get hitters off balance. So it's definitely in my cards to develop my changeup to get it more swing and miss, because that would definitely be more beneficial. But I think just being able to show that third or fourth pitch to a hitter kind of keeps them off balance. So something I've definitely been working on. Yeah.
Do you know your velos on your changeup and your slider on either the bullet type or the bigger sweeper type?
Yeah. So my changeup, it sits around 87 to 89. Okay, nice. I've even gotten like 90.
So 10 slider, off your fastball. That's perfect.
Yeah. So my slider is about 81 to 86. Nice. I would say the more bullet slider is a little bit firmer, and then the sweeper is a little bit slower, maybe 81, 82.
Okay, man. Just kind of all the things that you learned, maybe let's sum it up this way. Your first year in professional baseball. No, let's back up. Let's talk about your first outing in affiliated baseball there in the California League, and then also talk about the outing when you got to pitch. I know you grew up in Fresno. You went to some Grizzlies games. Probably when you were a kid, they were the AAA affiliate of the Giants, so they were a pretty big deal back then. They got screwed in that realignment in 2021. I'll just say that point blank. With now they're in the California League. Not that that's not a great league, but it's not AAA, right? So I'm sure you went to some Grizzlies games. You got to pitch against Fresno, not in Fresno, but against them. So talk about your affiliated debut and getting to pitch against Fresno.
Yeah, so we played them in Rancho Cucamonga, and this was, I believe, the last series before going into playoffs. It was pretty awesome. All the guys in the clubhouse knew I was from Fresno, so they were all pretty excited for me to pitch against, Fresno. And I remember just getting on that mound, and the stadium was honestly pretty packed because I think it was our last night game of regular season. So it was a pretty packed stadium. I had family there watching me. So it was super special just getting to be able to pitch against a team I watched growing up. And I had a pretty good game. I threw pretty well. So, I mean, I can't complain. It was super awesome to get to pitch in front of that crowd and my family.
So I think your affiliated debut was against Visalia. Is that right?
Yes, that was my first
And that's
outing
like,
in
what,
Rancho.
45 minutes maybe from where you grew up?
About 40, 45 minutes from Fresno. My stepmother's from Visalia, so I grew up going between there and Fresno a lot.
Yeah. So I'm sure you were well represented for your. I bet there are a lot of nerves, but a lot of excitement. I'm sure you were well represented in the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Take us through that amazing moment.
Yeah. So I remember I get the call. I was in Arizona. We were starting the Bridge League, and I get a call to go up to get a start in Visalia. And my wife travels with me, and I have 2 dogs. So anywhere we go, we all go.
Okay. What kind of dogs? What kind of dogs?
I have a German Shepherd, Husky mix, so a bigger boy. His name's Bolt, and I have a little Dachshund wiener dog. Her
And
name's
the wiener
Blue.
the wiener dog is in charge, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. We get on the road. We're headed to Visalia, and I tell my parents, and I have a bunch of friends, family, all making the drive to come watch me in Visalia. I have my first start, and man, do I have adrenaline. I am like a little bit over the top. Kind of, I have to dial it back a little bit because I pitch better when I'm a little bit more relaxed. But yeah, I remember stepping on that mound, and it just felt like I was pitching for the first time again, because I haven't had that level of competition. It felt like, and a pretty good crowd, because I was pitching in the ACL. There's not very many crowds, so having the crowd of people, it just really raises the stakes, and it felt crazy.
Yeah. So you got that feeling of getting to pitch in Visalia, 45 minutes away from your home, with all the people watching you for your professional debut in affiliated ball. You got to pitch against Fresno. So I say that to ask this question: do you ever just sit around and wonder and dream about what it's going to be like to take the mound in Los Angeles?
Oof. Yeah, I mean, that would be the goal. Ever since a kid, I've always dreamed about pitching for the Dodgers. So I'm hoping one day that's the end goal. I'm going to continue to, go about my business and go about the right things, and hopefully it all falls into place and I get there.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Isaac, Ayon, is that what you said?
Yeah, Ayon.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely awesome. So last question here. Let's finish it up with this. What stuff would you say that you learned the most here as a professional for your first year?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing I've learned is how to take care of your body.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty good about taking care of my body, but I think the Dodgers really emphasize kind of like the rehab part and how serious the little things are, because they could pay dividends in the future for you. So I think being able to go through the rehab process with the Dodgers, I learned a ton of stuff. Because, in college, you're like, man, all that arm care stuff, like, is it really going to help? And then after having 2 arm surgeries, it's like, I'm willing to do whatever I can. So I learned from the Dodgers, took it all in, and I applied it to kind of like my everyday work stuff, and it kind of all paid off. And it's just kind of like going about your business and doing the right thing. The Dodgers, they have the recipe. It's just like, if you're going to follow it, you're going to have some big payoffs from it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just kind of as a running joke, anytime I ask somebody who played for Shoe, I always ask this question: have you ever seen your manager, John Shoemaker, out of uniform?
No, I can't say I have. That man is always in uniform, literally always.
Yes. Very, very professional. Just absolute awesome legend for the Dodgers. I try to spread the good word about John Shoemaker any chance I get. So, Isaac, it's been wonderful getting to meet you. Hopefully this isn't the last time we talk. Hopefully before too long I'm getting to do this in person, which means you made it up to AA Tulsa, and we can do another one then. So, Isaac, thank you so much for agreeing to come on, and thank you so much for joining Dodgers Daily. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.